This interview is brought to you by Dead Man Works Tattoos and Body Piercing in Chilliwack, British Columbia, Canada. Make sure you give the dead man a jingle dingle the next time you want a skin doodled in. Hello, world. Welcome to the Fonz's office. Today, I am here with Mclovin, Isaiah Metituk. He has a fight scheduled ahead this Saturday, June the 5th in Vancouver, British Columbia on the BTC Fight Promotions BTC 10, BTCX for those that are doing the hashtags. Isaiah, how are you doing, my man?
Doing well, man. Thank you for having me.
Hey, thank you for making the time to come do an interview here at the Fonz's office. It's a pleasure to have you back, my man. Absolutely.
Pleasure to be on. Yes, sir.
Thank you. So you've been staying busy. You finally got to make your pro debut at Rise FC6 on the Fighting the Stigma fight card. Didn't happen to go your way. The second round doctor stoppage from a really nasty cut, man. You can't, those kind of things happen. It's a fist fight, right?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah. Do you want to speak a little bit on your past fight, your pro debut, before we segue into your upcoming fight?
Yeah, man. No, I mean, it was nice. It was almost a 2-year layoff, so I finally got to get my feet back in the water. I was the first fight in Canada during the pandemic, so that's something I'll always have with me. And obviously, the most disappointing part was the doctor stoppage. But all things considered, I mean, Russ is, I don't think we're going to be exchanging Christmas cards anytime soon, but full respect to Russ. I mean, he's a very tough, very legitimate kid from a very legitimate gym, and I have a lot of respect for his corner, Adam Zuchek and Sarah Kaufman. And was a close fight. I made a technical error that allowed him to catch me with the knee. That didn't rock me per se, but like you said, it sliced me really good, and they had to stop because of a cut. I mean, it is what it is. I went out on my shield. I was happy with how the fight was unfolding up until then, and like I've been saying all along, that loss just pushed me to that next level. So I think long term, I'm going to look back on that as almost being beneficial. Yeah, I can agree with you on that as well. Being able to take that in your pro debut and turning that around so fast, a lot of people in the mental aspect, that could have crushed them. But you were basically in the gym the very next day, or training your own in your own way, right? You didn't let that stop you. The train kept rolling, and you got right back in there because you want to turn this one around ASAP. Yeah. So Sunday I flew back, and then Monday I was back in the gym. Obviously I couldn't do anything too hard, but I was, doing some light weights, going on the treadmill, hitting the bag, just, always doing what I can to improve. Even if I can't go 100%, it's still better to go 50% when everybody else is going 0% and resting, right? So I've always had that mindset, and that loss made me realize how much more I even want it now. Now that it's pro, now that I'm working towards making the UFC and becoming a world champion, that feeling of losing, that feeling of loss really leaves a bitter taste in the guy's mouth. And, I want to get rid of that so bad. Like, if that fight was my tequila, so to speak, then this fight is the lime, the chaser, right? I'm going to get rid of that taste. I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm going to enjoy putting my skills on full display. Beautiful. And that fight is with the BTC Fight Promotion. How did that swing around? How did you manage to get the contract for the fight? And are they planning on keeping you around for a while, or is this a one and done kind of thing? Yeah, so it's kind of funny, actually. We just finished up training, and me and my striking coach, Randy, were just talking after like usual. And I had messaged Rob Beavers. I had heard some rumor that they were having a different card at a different date. And he said, we're not sure about that. But he said, while I have you here, I have Broderick, the guy I'm fighting, Broderick Renee. Yes. I have him. Do you want to take it on 3 weeks' notice? And, funny enough, for those who saw the cut, it was like Cajun Johnson put it best. It looks like I got hit with the hatchet. Like, yeah. I mean, you think about my coach Bill Mahood, how many cuts he's seen over the decades he's been in this, and he said that was one of the worst he's seen, especially for a first pro fight. Um, so really, I didn't think I'd be fighting until late July, early August range, but
Yeah.
good health and youth was on my side, and that cut healed really quick. So I was already, back in the gym, in shape. My weight was good. We did a bit of research. We liked the matchup, and I said, let's do it. Let's pull a cowboy. 3 weeks notice. I'm always ready, and let's go get that first win. And then as a result of that, I have a 3-fight deal with BTC now.
Beautiful.
Fights are super, even though, especially in Alberta, but also BC, Ontario, it looks like we're coming out of this pandemic, and hopefully things are going to be back to normal soon. But the way things are right now, man, it's tough to get fights. It's really tough. So
it really
being
is.
guaranteed 3 fights within a year with BTC is a huge blessing, and I'm real thankful that they gave that to me.
Wow. So not only is it a 3-fight deal, but they're guaranteeing you 3 fights within a 12-month period?
That is how my contract works. Yep.
Wow.
Obviously, there's variables.
Sure.
If I get injured or they don't have any cards, there's stuff for that. But
Yeah.
in theory, yes, I'm going to be fighting 3 times within a year, which is what I want. I like to stay active. Obviously, I like to fight, so if I can stay active, stay busy, and keep getting my record up and getting closer to the show, then I'm all in.
Yeah, that with coming off of that layoff, that's a perfect contract for a fighter like yourself. Like I know from speaking with you how hungry you are and how much you love to fight. So this with BTC, this is a beautiful thing in my opinion.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, and it's funny because they've only had 10 shows where you look at, Rumble in the Cage is at 50.
Yeah.
Unified is around there. Excessive Force is at 25.
Yeah.
BTC's only had 10 cards, but it's pretty remarkable what they've done in that time span. I mean, you look at the guys they've had, a lot of my friends too, like, TJ Laramie, Kyle Prepelec, Jesse Ronson, Adam Asenza. Like, they've had some of the top guys in Canada. Yeah. 3 of those 4 guys, possibly 4 with Asenza if he gets the call. They've all fought in or are currently in the UFC. So they've had some big names, and they're going to have a lot of eyes on them. So it's a great opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. This will indeed be a great opportunity for them. They've got their own streaming site. It's btcfight.ca/live. So everybody across Canada, there's no crowd at this fight, but everybody across Canada can still watch it by tuning in to the btcfight.ca website and ordering the pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet what they're doing too. You can select whichever fighter you want to pick. So
yeah,
if you go to the pay-per-view and you select me, then it's a win-win for both of us because you save $10 and I get a percentage of the buys. So I like what they're doing. I think that's next gen. That's next level. It's smart.
Yeah, I think it's super smart of them to do something along those lines, especially with offering a little kickback to the fighters. The fans, we get to show our support. And BTC Fight Promotion is allowing us a $10 discount by ordering through a fighter. So there's really no reason not to just pick a fighter. If you don't have somebody on the card that you're specifically wanting to watch, you order the pay-per-view anyways, you save $10 and you just pick a name. And I'm going to suggest that you choose Mclovin's name, Isaiah Metituk.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. No, I appreciate it. And from a fight perspective, there's a lot of good fights on this card.
There are.
Excluding myself. The main event, Josh Kukowski, my boy, is going to take out Lucas Neufeld. He's going to destroy him. It's going to open up a lot of doors for him, and I'm really excited to see that main event. And I think there's going to be a lot of eyes in Canada in that fight because both those guys are close to the show for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Both Josh and Lucas are right up there in the elite level in the Canadian promotions, and they're both ready for that next step too. And I think it's wonderful that they're able to join with BTC Fight Promotion and get onto this fight card, which, as I mentioned, is in Vancouver, British Columbia. The organization is out of Ontario, but because of the situation in Canada here, British Columbia is putting on the events with no crowds, or I think they listed as limited crowd, limited entrance, because they do have to have the event staff, a limited event staff, as well as limited corners and whatnot. So there's no crowd.
it is limited. It's a lot to explain. We had like a half-hour Zoom meeting, but basically the way it works with them and the way it worked with Rise is like we all have to get there at a set time. We all have, our allotted time in the dressing room. We go fight, we go see the doctor. Then the crappy thing is I won't be able to stay and watch Josh take out Lucas, unfortunately, or watch any of the other fights. But they're doing what they can, man. I mean, I don't want to say it's not as fun, but it's a different atmosphere than, when I'd fight for excessive force, right? In my hometown, I had all my homies here, my friends, coworkers, family, whatever. And, you get to see them and enjoy them after the fight. So maybe there's not that aspect of it, but at the end of the day, man, I get paid to go in there and whoop ass. So I don't care if there's a million people there or one person there.
Sure. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that aspect of the fighters themselves not being able to stick around and watch the next fighter's fight, that just shows the dedication that BTC Fight Promotion has to putting on a event in a different province, but doing it by the BC Commission's rules and guidelines and whatnot. So this, it's a tough break, but you can always go back up to your hotel room and watch it on. You can stream the fight. You may not be able to be in the arena, but you should be able to stream the fight from up there, hey?
Oh, that's exactly it, man. So I've got Randy Mahan and Inju Burke in my corner for this one. Great. So I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna take out Broderick. And as long as I'm not dead or in the hospital, man, I'll be watching for sure. There's a couple fights I have my eyes on, so it'll be interesting for sure.
Absolutely. There, as we're sitting right now, I believe there's 11 fights on the fight card, and of those 22 fighters, there are 15 fighters making their pro debut for BTC Fight Promotion. There's a couple of people that I've been keeping my eye on as amateurs. Derek Lang, I'm just going to throw a couple names out there. Derek Lang, as well as out of Toshido MMA, Tyler Van Kill, Squid Vicious, and Maria Ducek. Those two are going to be on this fight card too. And for me, I'm super thrilled that I get to watch some people like yourself from different provinces, as well as some people from BC. And like I say, on this BTC Fight Promotion card, man, this is wonderful. In Vancouver now, this is going to be a very busy weekend because there's another promotion that's putting on an event as well. Do you have any friends on that card? Are you going to be watching that event while you're here?
Yeah, I've actually got more homies on that card than I do on the BTC card. Dylan Schellenberg, I did a camp down at CMC. He's fighting on that card. Right on. John Nguyen and Ali Wasuk, who are homies of mine as well. They train under Cajun Johnson, who's an extended coach. He's like Bill's original guy, the first guy Bill got to the UFC. So me and him kind of have a coach-mentor relationship. So through that, I became, tight with John and Ali. And then Dahan. Dahan's a friend of mine. I've known Dahan for about 4 or 5 years. I met him actually after I fought Dakota Rutan here in Grand Prairie in the title eliminator. And I was actually a fan of his before I met him, so that was pretty cool. But he's the main event. He's fighting Kynan, who beat Keenan Keller, who's another really legit prospect in his last fight. So obviously, I think Dahan's going to get it done. And my heart's with Dahan, but that's an interesting fight as well. So there's and even outside of having friends and homies on that card, I mean, there's a lot of good fights on that card. There's Dario Sengoga versus Zach Powell. There's Kai Machado versus Christian Larson in the main event, which is a really eye-opening fight. The winner of that's probably going to the UFC or at least Contender Series. So that's a stacked card as well, man. It's a great weekend to be a Canadian MMA fan, and an even better weekend to be a Canadian MMA fighter. So let's go.
Absolutely. And myself, I like to support Canadian fighters. You have a lot of support behind you. You got the Mclovin Mafia. You have your own sponsors as well. Would you like to throw a shout out to the sponsors that are pushing Isaiah Metituk into this fight?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Because there's no fans, because of the way everything is, travel accommodations, pay for any promotion is all a little less, and it's totally understandable. So without my sponsors, I wouldn't be able to do this. Sandra, Reimer at the Fireplace guys, they've been an absolute blessing. They've really helped me with airfare and everything like that. DJ Q, before everything shut down, I was a lead bouncer at Shark Club here in town. I've been there for 5 years. So is Q. So we became tight through that. You know, he's done me up a couple walkout songs, and now he's on board as a sponsor, and it means the world, man. It's super humbling. And then also Sam Alexiak at S&J Truck Track. He actually reached out to my coach and wanted to sponsor me, which was really humbling and meant a lot. So it's much appreciated from all three of those. And without them and, you know, the people that support me behind the scenes and the fans that I don't even know, like none of this would be possible. So it's all very much appreciated.
Excellent. Wow, that's wonderful. And again, for the fans out there, this pay-per-view is going to be available this Saturday night at btcfight.ca/live. You get to choose the fighter that you want to support. If you don't want to support a fighter, it costs $35 for the pay-per-view. You support a fighter, it's $25. But I suggest that you get that pay-per-view ordered today and just get it out of the way with, so you don't forget and it's not last minute. When I'm done with this interview, I'm going to be putting my bid in, and I'm going to be supporting the man you're seeing on the screen right now, Mclovin, Isaiah Metituk.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I've also, you know, with you had mentioned the main event, Josh Bukowski and Lucas Neufeld. I'm really looking forward to watching that as well. Two guys that I think are going to put it all on the line. They've got a lot of respect in Canada from the fighters, and they've also got a lot of animosity with some fighters as well, each of them with individuals across Canada. So there are indeed going to be a lot of fighters and a lot of eyes on that fight, which doesn't hurt you whatsoever, because now those eyes are going to be on watching you as well. So I'm telling the world right now, Isaiah Metituk right here, he's one of the good guys. He's one of the tough as hell guys, and you're going to see one hell of a career out of Isaiah Metituk. Isaiah,
that's real cool, man. I really appreciate it.
Hey, absolutely. And I thank you once again for taking the time out to speak about your upcoming fight here this Saturday night, June 5th in Vancouver, British Columbia. Again, available on btcfight.ca/live. Thank you once again, Isaiah.
Thank you for having me, my man. And
you're welcome.
Tune in June 5th. Last time I failed to get the mission done, but this time it's blood bought, paid in full, and I'm coming out victorious by any means. Let's go.
Awesome. Let's go is right. You heard it right there. Isaiah Metituk. I am Jeff Lott, the super fan, and I am signing out from the Fonz's office.